66 78 15 233 37 81 52.
We know who we are. We are confident. We are positive.
Voilà, de retour à l'antenne pour parler de beauté avec Monsieur Emmanuel Chiangong qui nous a rejoint ce matin. J'aime bien le look de ce jour. Bonjour et bienvenue.
Je suis prêt pour commencer les cours dans 30 minutes.
Ah d'accord, c'est le look du lundi. On est d'attaque pour commencer les cours dans 30 minutes. D'accord, donc on va se dépêcher avec vous pour vous permettre d'aller donner les cours tout à l'heure.
Je le donne déjà ici. Je le donne déjà ici.
Good morning.
How are you,
Well, I'm fine, thank you. I think we will also need some of this, Chiangong and fashion.
Why not?
You will need
That's
this.
the red and black, okay. It's the
Well,
energy for beauty.
Yes, of course. This week is the last week for the holiday makers because on Monday schools will officially resume and most of them will have to go back to school. And we understand that in most schools, especially in the Anglophone speaking regions, they always have a low haircut. Yes, they always have a haircut. But in the Francophone zones, we have children who go to school with their hair. I mean, they keep long hair. And so this morning we will be taking a look at what parents need to do on their children. I mean, we will look at the back-to-school hairdos.
Back to school hairdos,
Yeah.
Back to school beauty, Actually, I think that it's a mistake that we need to correct. We can copy from the English-speaking zone, cut down the hair of young girls. It's good that you begin chemical services and all the when you have the maturity to manage the beauty services, it's much more smarter to go with simple haircuts. It's easier to get ready for school. It's not a distraction for your studies, and you still can look you still are very beautiful. And actually, the objective is not the length of the hair and the stress in the management of all those things. It's not compatible with the age and the subject of the matter, the matter of the subject or the era or the context in which we are. Long hair, twists and braids and so on. Secondly, as you twist that hair outwards, with the nerve endings of the scalp, you twist the brain inside. So it's an unnecessary stress. And this is even more frustrating for the little children. They are like hostages in the hands of parents. You do that stuff, that garbage on the baby because you want to impress on yourself. It has nothing to do with children. Get their hair cut. And most of them now, you'll have some trouble changing their lifestyle because you've painted a certain beauty picture around that and you've hung all those pails and accessories on them and they think they are more special. Now to get them off, it will be a bit complicated because they didn't start that way. But you are the parent, you took them there, bring them out. You should be able to let your children sleep well, especially when these braids and rastas are not on their hair.
Yeah.
You should be able to let them rush quickly into the school bus because the hair combing took just 2 seconds and so on. So this is something that we can copy because it's good. The other advantage is that the follicle of the children is so fragile. And so when you pull on it or you do chemical blowouts and things like that, you are doing an irreparable damage. That is why later on, most of these women, you see, have lost hair on the temples, and they are receding hair the hairline is receding hairline because they damage the sensitive hair around the hairline. And so you stop traumatizing the scalp with all the sensitivity that is there on these children. When they'll be 18 years, 16, 18 years, they have a more stable scalp. They have enough sebaceous secretion for a good hydrolipidic protection of the scalp, which is very good for the health of the scalp. They are now able to carry on more complicated beauty aspects because they have the maturity to handle and manage it well. And that is when we can start. And then they are going to university, and at this point, I think it is a very practical look. They can start benefiting from very more advanced professional services. One other sad thing is the nails. At secondary school level, we had most of the girls putting on false nails. This is very sad and unfortunate. Generally, at those ages, except for those who are nail biting, they have very beautiful, lovely nails. And even permanent varnish on nails is bad. Your nail varnish should not last 7 days a week. 5 days is good. Let the nail have 2 days to delicately exfoliate. Because it's keratinized tissue. If you build up dead tissue on it, it becomes rugged, and it becomes chappy, dehydrated, and very, very unpleasant. So you can't afford at that age to be putting on, false nails. It is really, it doesn't.
I've always heard, it's good to get it from a professional's own point of view now. I've heard so many people say it's not good to use a blade to trim your nails.
Yes.
You better use a nail cutter or file. Simply.
Yes. Actually, you use a nail cutter to reduce the length of the nails. Okay. Most of the time, the nail is not that long, so you don't need a nail cutter. You need a nail cutter to reduce the length and to give the shape.
Okay, with the file.
No, to give the shape with the cutter. A blade is just out of the question. One, the blade is likely to wound. And most people use the blade, they just cut around the finger shape. Meanwhile, the nail is supposed to enhance the shape of the finger. So I would say you use a cutter and you cut in three. One is a horizontal and then two angles. So you have like the possibility to come with your file and just work the angles. Filing should not be a seesaw exercise. It will give a vibration on the nail plate that will traumatize the nail root, where the nail is elaborated, and of course your nail will grow with lines and wrinkles on it. So you use just a bit of filing to give the shape and to make it smooth. And of course this you do regularly. You don't let nails grow too long, and then you come and you are walking all around, using a file. So it's good to cut so that you don't do long filing. Over filing will heat up and will create trauma. So you just shape it with the cut, and you find the shape with the file.
Now, for those of you who are going to a primary school or secondary school, this is definitely not for you because you're not yet into makeup. It has to do with all the university goers. Now, for anybody who wants to go to class and they have a quick lecture, what are the few tips that they could quickly do to look beautiful for the morning?
Most youths, a powder is enough. Okay. Except you have a tropical skin, then you go for foundations. A powder, you just need to mattify the face, take off the oil. A powder is enough, a gloss is enough, and a pencil lining your lips is just enough. Actually, when you're going to school, if you're going to a professional school, professional schools, you're already in the professional spirit. Yes, a day makeup is fine. You need a lipstick, you need an eyeliner, you can brush your eyebrows into place, but you can do a pencil if you are not blessed with enough eyebrows. You can use a pencil to just design it. What we are doing is a day makeup. A day makeup just makes you luminous, radiant. It doesn't change who you are. And in most of the time, a tinted gloss will go for a lipstick. And actually, it is odd for you to have colors like red and violet lipsticks and, in a day going to class. It's not academic. They're not academic colors.
Before we move out, just tell us more about the school. How is it?
The school program, we are open and we're welcoming everybody who is looking forward. We're seeing more and more masculine coming in, and this is important because the hair and the beauty industry is actually manhandled by the men elsewhere. Here, the women are dominating, and we're beautiful to have a discussion with you before the enrollment. We don't just want people to come in and want to enroll. We want to present you the programs, share with you what are the visions and the conditions and the school habits and regulations, and when you love it, then you can. All right,
let's get the geographical locations and also the social media sites.
Yes, you can come on Facebook, Emmanuel Chiangong. You can go on vivacoiffure.com, and of course, you can come to Rue Benabe and on house number 545. You have the school headquarters there, and it will be open all day, all week, waiting for you. In Carrefour Express, you can go at Cité des Palmiers, Carrefour Express, and there we also be welcoming you. And if you drop at the Viva Coiffure salons, we also have the supervisors talking to you about training. And you can watch out, of course, for this logo, which is the logo of the school. And that's it.
I guess on a different day, maybe different platform, you'll get to explain why the red and the black.
Why the red and the black.
Yes, for Emmanuel, for Viva Coiffure, actually. All right, thank you very much for stopping by. It is a fresh week. And
that should be on final.
You understood. This, of course, is the first day of the week. We wish you all the best, and we pray that your week unfolds properly. And in no time, Etienne, we will be talking sports with a man on the beat. That is, of course, John Paul Sama. It is, of course, 8:47.
Et oui, petite transition pour recevoir John Paul Sama et parler de sport avec lui.